Speaking late last night after the House adjourned before agreeing on a property tax relief plan.
29 days after the special session began, it ended last night with tensions running high. KXAN political reporter Phil Prazen joins us with a look at what passed and what failed.
Well, Robert and Shannon, the Texas House gavelled out around 7 p.m. The Senate did the same 3 hours later. Governor Greg Abbott originally called lawmakers back to Austin and gave them a list of 20 items to pass. They included a bathroom privacy bill, property tax reform, school finance reform, and sunset bills to continue the Texas Medical Board and regulate medicine. After a month of work, half did not pass, including that bathroom bill, tax dollars to help disabled children go to private schools, and limiting budgets and taxes for local governments. But half did pass, including those sunset bills, school finance reform, and requiring people to purchase extra insurance to cover abortions. Joining us now is the man who called lawmakers back and could do it again, Governor Greg Abbott. Thanks for joining us today.
My pleasure, Phil. Thank you.
Well, some of these items were pretty controversial. Can you make the case that Texas is now a better state than it was 30 days ago?
Absolutely, because if it were not for the special session, we would not have been able to add the much needed money that was needed by our retired teachers for their health care. We would not have a plan in the school finance system to come up with solutions for the next session to ensure that we overhaul the way we finance education in the state of Texas and finally get rid of the Robin Hood that is now a nightmare for the Austin area. Texas is better also because we passed a reform that will crack down on mail-in ballot voter fraud, ensuring that we are going to protect the integrity of our ballot box and prevent cheating and illegal voting in the state of Texas. And also we passed several reforms that reduce regulations on homeowners in Austin and around the state.
And a lot of people here today are giving the credit or the blame for what did not pass to Speaker of the House Joe Straus. Do you fall in that camp? Did he get in the way of what did not pass?
Well, Phil, here's the deal. There were, I think, 10 of my 20 items that did not pass. Of those 10, 9 never received a vote on the House floor. Some never even made it even into committee, let alone out of committee. And so there were roadblocks to our ability to even get a vote. And the least that I asked for was a vote by the members of the House and Senate so that voters at home would be able to decide if they are for or against this particular legislator. And remember this, Phil, and that is of my 20 items, the Texas Senate was able to pass 18 of them out of the Senate altogether in just 1 week, proving what I said before the session began. If items fail, it won't be because of a lack of time, it will be because of a lack of will.
But Speaker of the House Joe Straus controls some of that process. I mean, how big of a role did he play in stopping that?
Well, it's clear by the fact that these items that did not pass did not even get out of committee, that he had either some or total control of that process. But what we need to find out is we need the members to go back home to their districts. They need to hear from their citizens, from their constituents, and their constituents need to let these members know about the importance of these issues, such as my top issue, and that is reducing property taxes in Texas. Whether people live here in Austin or across the state, they need to let their legislator know that reducing property taxes in Texas is so important.
Well, let's talk about the possibility of coming back for a second special session. Now, this week, a federal court ordered the state to redraw 2 congressional districts here in Texas. Now, there are 2 options. The court can do it or the legislature can do it. Now, are you going to call a special session on this issue and then you could tack on the other items that you would like?
I've been working with the Texas Attorney General last night and with his office today on what our response is. And understand this. This is the same court that in 2012 issued a similar opinion about these very same districts. When I was the Attorney General, I appealed that all the way to the United States Supreme Court and won a 9-0 opinion from the United States Supreme Court, striking down what this very same lower court decision did. What the decision that was issued yesterday does is to perpetuate its initial wrongdoing. So what the intent of the state of Texas is to appeal what this San Antonio 3-judge panel has written, because we believe that it is unconstitutional what they decided, and we believe that once again we are going to win at the United States Supreme Court.
Governor Greg Abbott, thanks so much for your time today, and thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Phil.
And also earlier today, some of Governor Abbott's opponents held a press conference under the slogan, "Respect us or expect us."
This was a Trump-inspired legislative session and special legislative session. The governor tried to bully local governments, cities, counties, women, Hispanics, African Americans. He even tried to bully his own legislators.
And I asked Congressman Joaquin Castro there, if our state leaders are doing such a bad job, why doesn't he run to replace them? He told me he wants to continue his job in Washington, D.C., but expects more statewide candidates to emerge this fall. But stay tuned. At 6 o'clock, we're taking a look at what's next for the man who gets the credit or the blame for stopping what's known as the bathroom bill.